I'm Al. You're Twisted Pair Radio, www.twistedpairradio.com, but you know because you were here yesterday, right? Right. All right. So again, just a couple reminders before we start today's festivities, events, and talks. Photographs. You may be photographed accidentally at any time.
Audio, video.
Accept it. By being here, you are waiving your right to be accidentally on the interweb. So, accept it.
Or have a blow-up sex doll made of you.
Right. Your face on that dirty, dirty real doll. I'm not telling you what a real doll is. Giveaways. We have nothing left except for stupid Red Hat CDs.
Fedora.
Fedora is a big difference.
Fedora. Whatever. No. But we do have Fedora discs. I actually love the Fedora team. They're fantastic. Their stuff is here. Take a CD, bring it home, install it, try it. You'll love it.
We'll have more mice later. I have some Fedora coffee mugs.
Don't forget to buy a t-shirt.
T-shirts are $15. And
Stylish.
I don't have a t-shirt to show you, but you will get laid if you wear one of these t-shirts. I didn't say by who.
Nick is just selling the shirts. He'd like to remind everyone.
Right.
Just selling the shirts.
I'm laying.
No pants.
Selling. Selling laying.
No pants.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a capture the flag event later on.
Details are still pending, and we have a.
No. Capture the flag. Details are on the board.
Oh,
look at that! Look at that!
fantastic.
So Unq apparently slaved away all night with help from a couple other people and came up with the rules for capture the flag. They're on the back whiteboard in the
I can't read
conference
any of
room.
that. Some letters, some symbols.
The SID is at CTF, the wireless SID. The 2 IP addresses that you're supposed to attack are on the board. Basically, you're supposed to get a flag file and the location of the flag file on each Unix in the Windows system. The path is on the board, and basically there's instructions on editing the file. So if you get the file, you edit it according to the instructions, and there's a console server that will keep track of who's edited that file, whose name was in it, and how long they've had their name in it, so the next person captures the flag.
And it starts now.
And if you didn't fall asleep during that explanation, you should dig in right now. So many rules.
There'll be hacker trivia.
There will be hacker trivia. So we do a slight modification of today's agenda, since I know you all have it printed out and you're checking it off as we go. We're switching up the DNS weakness talk, which was supposed to be at 10:30, with the ARP spoofing talk, which was supposed to happen at 11:30. So just a little switch there. Don't panic. I don't want to see anyone running out of here screaming with your arms in the air. I'm glad we're all awake this morning. That's good.
No, you're not.
All right, so I'm going to introduce Mr.
Will be the first.
Mr. Professor Farnsworth is going to give us a little spiel. He's running a survey. He's going to tell you all about it. It's actually not just a survey, but it's a whole research project. And he wants all of you, or the appropriate all of you, to be a part of it. And he's going to talk about that right now. So let's give a hand to Mr. Professor Farnsworth.
Thanks, everybody. I'm sorry I got here so late. I've had some family problems. We brought our 2 dogs, and one of them had explosive diarrhea to the point where there's nothing worse than cleaning dog shit off of the roof of a car at 11 o'clock.
Those are words I did not need to hear this morning.
Yeah, so I'm not quite on my game at the moment, but I hope you can understand.
I hope you had cologne.
Cologne. Well, yeah, after giving myself a European shower, I'm ready to go. Anyway, what am I doing here? I'm Professor Farnsworth on the forums. My name is Thomas Holt. I'm a professor at UNC Charlotte in the Department of Criminal Justice. Most of my research focuses on computer crime, cyber crime, the way that the internet facilitates all sorts of deviance. So what brings me here? Well, anybody in the room a computer hacker? That's what I thought. Well, In the past couple of years, I've been doing research with hackers. I've been doing interviews. I've been trying to get people's opinions about what constitutes hacker culture. I've been going through web forums. I've been trying to develop as much of an understanding as we can of computer hacker culture. So part of what I'll be presenting later is kind of trying to address that. What I've also done is developed a survey. I'm surveying students at UNC Charlotte in the upcoming fall and winter semesters, asking them about their computer use. What do they think about computer ethics? What do they do on campus? What do they do at home? And in coming here and realizing that many of you are at the very least very computer savvy. You may not consider yourself to be a hacker, you may think you're a hacker and not admit it. I don't really care. I know that you are all very interested people when it comes to technology. And so I've developed this survey, adapted it a little bit, and if you don't mind, if you have 20 minutes to spare, if you could please, please, please fill out this survey while you're here. I don't really want to know if you've done some sort of crazy NASA hack that kept space shuttle from launching. I don't care if you have done very, very little and think you're a script kiddie, but just really like learning about technology. What I want to understand, and what I hope that I can do in the time that I'm here, is to give you all this survey, get your feedback. There's some questions in there that are very specific, like, do you consider yourself to be a hacker? Yes or no? And then there's a series of questions after that about hacking itself. There's a variety of questions in there about computer ethics and about beliefs concerning not only the way that law enforcement handles computer crime, but your own opinions about these issues. There's some stuff in there that is not necessarily sensitive information, but the questions are seeking your opinion. So this is a self-report study. In other words, you're providing the responses. It's completely anonymous and confidential. At no point on there are you asked for your name. I'm not going to take any information from you. It's not like this is going to go to some fingerprinting lab at the FBI and try to draw down prints. This is very, very basic. The demographic questions that are asked are age, race, gender, sex, the sort of things you'd be asked on a phone survey. So nothing that can ever link you back to this specific response set. Having said all of that, if you're interested, I would really appreciate it if you could fill this out. I don't have money to reimburse you in any specific capacity, but...
For bail.
What's that?
For bail.
And the good thing is that this will never go to law enforcement. This is completely separate from any kind of investigation or otherwise. I'm not affiliated with law enforcement, I'm just a criminologist. So by default, I look at crime. So anyway, I have the surveys with me, I have pencils if you've got the time. There's a thing on there that talks about specific ways that your information is going to be protected. If you are at all interested, please raise your hand and I'll be happy to pass it out to you. If you want, whenever we get the response set back, I'll be happy to post information on the forums, to post some results. So there's a myriad of questions on there. I don't know how much time do I have left for the other talks?
2 more seconds.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? I'm happy to answer anything about this. I know there's a lot of people who say that researchers do a bad job of looking at computer hackers, that social scientists are pretty much the suck when it comes to doing research. And was anybody at DEF CON 8 or 9 or HOPE in the first couple of years? Whenever there was a team of researchers who came to deliver surveys. And they were asking very specific, pointed questions. And a lot of people have critiqued their research and said they didn't really define a hacker well, they didn't ask very good questions. In the process of this, I'm not even assuming that you are a hacker. This is simply, clearly this is a technology-related conference, you probably have some interest. Maybe you work in IT. So, the questions themselves may have some utility for you. Anybody have any questions?
So the question about what is your MAC address, I should ignore that.
Yes, you can ignore that. And the other good thing is that if there is a question you do not want to answer, you don't have to. None of this is going to be held against you. None of it's going to matter if you don't fill out the thing completely. If you can, though, it would be greatly appreciated. The results may provide us with some interesting understanding, not only about the way that you define hacker, if you are one, or maybe just the things that you do while online.
Is this for your, I mean, you're a study for you, or is this for us to use like a thing within a university for a team, or is this how it's?
No, this is just a study that I'm conducting. It's sort of developed as I was doing this research. I got a small grant within the university to look at student computer use. And this sort of adapted from that line of research. At most, what will happen if there's enough respondents and there's enough reliable information, it may eventually be published in a peer-reviewed journal if it can make it through that process. But beyond that, no, this is just an individual piece of research. I am always open to any questions. If you have critiques, please let me know, because this is primarily something that's very new. From my line of thinking, it's something very important. It will have some utility. It may just be something to laugh at on the boards if you get bored one day and say, how bad are we as a collective? So I appreciate it. I thank you. Thanks for the couple of minutes, and I'll see you all later on this afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir.
I had done the survey previously,
Yes.
and the only question that I had problems answering was, do you think about the person who gave you the survey and touch yourself? So I don't know if everyone will want to.
I'm also filling out a survey. It involves questions like, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Do you watch movies about gladiators?
Do you want to?
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Do you want a Vietnamese chair?
So we've learned a couple things already this morning. We've learned not to let a drunk guy hold a microphone in front of a crowd. And we've heard not to put an overstuffed dog in a car for too long.
I don't want any more stories like that, please.
It is not ARP spoofing up next. It is TXS. He's going to be talking about reverse engineering. Again, drunk guy with a mic. My fault. This is a man who he spoke last year at our con. He did a fantastic job. He works for a local security company.
I think Vic wants to.
Vic has an announcement to make.
Before you introduce, okay, everybody should have registered, except for speakers, of course, and staff. And if you registered, you got a wristband. You should have that wristband on. If you were here last night, and maybe took off your wristband to shower or something, go see those guys at the desk and make sure they know you were here last night and get another one. So everybody that isn't staff or speakers should have a wristband. Thank you.
It's more for hotel security, quote unquote. Thank you very much, Vic. So again, this is Manny. He works for a local security company. He did some great talks last year about pen testing, penetration testing. One of my favorite subjects. I do penetration testing all the time.
Let's hear the dog story again.
Yeah, let's hear the dog story again. That's fantastic. Are you ready?
Yeah.
10 minutes. Yeah.
You can take a couple minutes.
You want the wireless or you want the lapel or the...